Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time. I'm Stephen, I'm a Doctor Who fan and I review Doctor Who stories here. And those of you who have been here before will know I review them in a randomly selected order. And last week the story that got selected was The Wedding of River Song. Matt Smith's finale episode for Series 6. Now I'm recording this on Doctor Who Day, the 23rd of November, the 58th anniversary of the start of Doctor Who. And this is a very inauspicious story to have to watch on this day, because I'll be straight up, before the Doctor goes in my hat, I'll straight up tell you I do not like this story one little bit. I will put it, well, it really is bottom of the pile. I can only think of maybe only two other stories that I dislike more than this one. One of those is the much mentioned Silver Nemesis, and the other one is Sleep No More. But anyway, they're for another time. Today, Wedding of River Song, so I just compose myself before I start ranting, and here we go. Let's get Matt Smith tucked in for the fourth time on my channel, and I hope you're all in good voice. This next few seconds might be the highlight of the whole video. Oh, it's time to talk about Doctor Who. I've got the Doctor in my hat. I'll have to stay very, very, very still, or he'll fall out and go splat. Well caught. Okay, put him back in. Oh my goodness, The Wedding of River Song. Where do I begin with this mess? I should give you a bit of a background. I mean, Series 6 is very problematic for me. I really don't enjoy it all that much in general. It's like, Series 6 was literally a game of two halves, because the season series was divided into two sections with a sort of summer break between the two, but they're not the two halves I'm talking about. For me, the two halves are the episodes which are directly part of the overall Series 6 arc. They're the ones I don't like. And the episodes which are only more loosely or not at all connected to the overall arc, and they're the ones I do like. And I think the problem is that I just don't care about the story arc in this series. For me, River Song had already outstayed her welcome by the start of Series 6. I enjoyed her in her first appearance with David Tennant. I enjoyed her second story with the Angels. But after that, I was just fed up of her. I wasn't at all invested in her personal storyline. I couldn't care less that she's Rory and Amy's daughter. Doesn't interest me at all. I couldn't care less about her relationship with the Doctor. Doesn't interest me. And none of this is the fault of Alex Kingston, whose acting is great. No problem with Alex Kingston. But I just don't care about the character or the direction the character went in. And another problem with this episode and this series is I don't care about the silence either. I just find the silence really boring. So really, when you throw all that in together, that there's not a lot in this one for me. And my problems with the song started to sort of spill out and make me get a bit tired of Amy and Rory at this point as well. Although I did recover from that. Amy and Rory, I was back on board for them again for the start of the next series. But throughout this series, I was just fed up, really, of the whole Amy, Rory, River sort of triangle thing. And this episode, I know this episode, in a way, it's meant to be a mess, because obviously the plot is that all of time is happening all at once. Because of River not killing the Doctor when she was supposed to. And it just, there's so much going on. It's like Stephen Moffat's thrown everything at the walls to see what'll stick, and sort of all the good stuff has slithered down to the bottom and left all the utter crap still stuck to the wall. So, oh dear, I am struggling so much to find anything good to say about this. The only good thing, one moment I do like about this story, is almost right towards the end, where the Doctor says that he's got too big, he needs to sort of be a bit less high profile, which is, I like the Doctor to be sort of less high profile. I've never really bought in to the Doctor as this sort of intergalactic sort of super being sort of. I just like it when the Doctor is just at this wander through space and time, just pitching in, helping out wherever they land. That's what I like. And during Series 6, yes, the Doctor did get too big for my taste, and in a lot of these episodes it just didn't feel like Doctor Who to me. Not particularly the fault of Matt Smith, although it has to an extent clouded my perception of the Matt Smith era a bit, and certainly this middle season of Matt Smith, although I do like the other two seasons of Matt Smith a lot more, Series 5 and Series 7. And I'm doing it again, I mixed up series and season. I'm using them interchangeably when I really shouldn't. When it's, I know it's season for 20th century and series for 21st, but I just can't help mixing them up sometimes. But you all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's a very unsatisfactory conclusion to a very unsatisfactory series for me, and I think that's quite literally all I can find to say about this one without going on a really massive rant. And I don't want to go on a really massive rant particularly, because I don't think that the things I think are wrong in this season are necessarily anybody's fault. And I know an awful lot of people do like Series 6, and I may be in the minority. It's not to my taste. But the wonderful thing about Doctor Who is if something comes along that's not to your taste, you don't have to wait all that long for something else to come along which is much more to your taste. And for my money, the show fell down a bit in this series, but it picked itself up, dusted itself off, was a hell of a lot better in Series 7, which I enjoy immensely. So I'll take him out of my hat, and oh dear, let's just fingers crossed. It's still Doctor Who Day, as I'm going to make the next draw for the next story. So fingers crossed that with it being Doctor Who Day, I get granted something much nicer to talk about next week. So let's see, shall we? Okay, Kate, today I'm going to do this in a slightly different way. Instead of putting the random number generator on my phone where you can barely see it. I'm going to keep filming on my phone and put the number generator on my laptop instead, where you get a much better view. You can see I've got 281 selections left on the wheel, and I'll just bring up my spreadsheet before I spin the wheel just to show you how that works. Now here's my spreadsheet with all the Doctor Who stories. Now these coloured ones at the bottom, I move all the stories I've watched to the bottom. They're colour coded by the respective Doctor, of course. There were 297 stories at the start of this. Now there are 281 left untouched. So it's these top 281 that we pick from when we spin the wheel. And in this column you can see I've written Sam. That's my brother, you'll remember him. If anything comes up with Sam written next to it, then that's one of the stories he's going to be guesting on. There are 13 of those left. Anyway, so they're the 281. The Evolution of the Daleks being the most recent one, because obviously the Flux episodes aren't up on my spreadsheet yet, and they won't be for a few more months. And they're the ones to be removed, so I don't know if I made it clear. I'll show you one of the gaps. If I go up here, you can see Terror of the Autons, then it goes straight to Claws of Axos, and that's because Mind of Evil here is one of the ones that's already been removed. So we'll spin this wheel, and then I'll show you what it corresponds to on the spreadsheet, and if this works out I'll keep doing it this way. Okay. Right, that's good. You can see that much more clearly. So 51 has been selected. So what I do now is I scroll up and find 51, and I find out that 51 is there. And I'll move in so you can see that 51 is Doctor Who and the Silurians. I just realised that Doctor Who and the Silurians is one of the stories that my brother is featuring on, so in case he's not available immediately, I have to draw another story, which I may do before Doctor Who and the Silurians, which is probably most likely considering Doctor Who and the Silurians is so long. So let's just bring up that wheel again and draw something else. (262). Okay, so if we're not doing Doctor Who and the Silurians next week, we will be doing we will be doing Peter Capaldi's finale, Twice Upon a Time. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on Sunday for my Sunday chat, and I'll see you on Tuesday either for Doctor Who and the Silurians or Twice Upon a Time. Until then, please like, comment, subscribe. Please tell your friends, and please tell my friends. Bye for now.